Hey guys, Mr. B here again, bringing you another awesome math video. In this video, I'm going to take you through solving some linear equations using algebra. And, this is like you just started it in class. Maybe perhaps you're just solving some simple linear equations. And maybe it's not so simple to you, but hopefully this little video will help you sort of navigate your way through that. As always, guys, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to the channels. I'm on my path now to 10K subscribers on my very unrealistic goal of 100K. But otherwise, please subscribe, and if you like the video, give it a like, leave a comment. Thankful to all my positive comments I've gotten over the last year. It's been great, and it's kept me going and remotivated me to work on my channel. All right, guys, so we got an equation here. 2x minus 1 is equal to 7. So I've modeled this with algebra tiles, and if you haven't, if you're not familiar with algebra tiles, or maybe this is your first time seeing them, I just made a video with solving using algebra tiles, and that's not the objective with this video. The objective is to be able to do it without algebra tiles, but since probably you learned it with algebra tiles, it helps to sort of have them here, and as we go, I'll do this one with algebra tiles and sort of translate those steps into algebra, and then we'll do one without the tiles. So, basically our objective is when we're solving equations to try and isolate the x by itself, okay? So we've got this pesky minus 1 here, which is represented with this red 1 tile. So what I would want to do is I would really want to add this yellow tile to it. So I'm going to take this tile over and I'm going to drag it over here. And one of our rules, of course, is that whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other, right? So I have to do it here as well. So in creating this set of, in adding that tile there, we've created a zero pair, all right? And a zero pair is exactly how we want to be able to solve these equations, at least, one of the steps, all right? So a zero pair means that they cancel each other out. So I've got a plus 1 and a negative 1, and they cancel each other out, and what that means is they go away. So it's gone. So the algebraic step that we would use that would correspond to that move is adding a 1 to both sides, because that's all we did. We added a 1 tile to both sides. So I go plus 1. Actually, maybe I'll do it in a different color just to see how that turns out. So let's see. Let me do it in red. Maybe stand out a bit more. So plus 1 and plus 1. All right. So now if we look what we got left over here, we have on this side we only have the 2x left, and on this side we have 8. Well, we're going to end up with the exact same thing with our algebra here. Okay, so the zero pair here that canceled out, well, we did the exact same thing here. So this guy and this guy cancel out. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So I end up with 2x equals 8. Now, if we were doing algebra tiles, what I would tell you at this step, once you have the x tiles on one side and the 1 tiles on the other side, I would tell you to divide it into however many x tiles you have. So we have 2. So we would have to divide it into 2 even groups. So if I kind of already got that done, I'll just make it a little more obvious by separating them, right? So I have 2 even groups here if I do that, right? So I've divided them into equal groups. And that tells me that x is equal to 4. Well, we can do that exact same algebraic step. It's just simply that we need to divide by 2. So I come over here, I divide 2x by 2, and divide the 8 by 2. So whatever number's in front of your x, or however many x's you have, that's what you have to divide by. So what ends up happening is 2x divided by 2. Well, those 2's kind of just cancel themselves out. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so I end up with x. And then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we end up with that nice little neat solution. All right? And we always want to just check our solution just to be sure you're on a test. You want to get 100 or you want to do good. You take that x value and you put it in wherever you see an x in your equation. So right there. So 2 times 4 minus 1, and you want to see what that equals. Well, that's 8 maybe I should have went down, but that's fine. 8 minus 1, which is 7, which is what the other side equals. So we're good. We are good. That's our solution. So, obviously, guys, you're in your class, and eventually you're going to progress past the algebra tiles. The algebra tiles is the training wheels of solving equations. So, if they work for you, certainly keep doing it. But you can have a lot more fun if you can just use algebra. It becomes a lot easier. All right. So let's try another one. So this one is very similar to the last one. I've got 3x minus 6 equals 12. So I'm just going to rewrite that. Make sure I got blue. So 3x minus 6 equals 12. So again, my objective is the same as it was with algebra tiles. I want the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. So in the algebra tiles, there's x tiles and the 1 tiles. So the x here, and hanging out is with this pesky subtract 6. Well, I have to undo that 6, that subtract 6. The only way to undo it, add 6, and then add 6. All right? So if we did it right, what ends up happening is this negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So that guy is completely gone now. And I end up with just 3x equals 12 plus 6 is 18. So now the next step is, with algebra tiles, would be to make my groups. So it's telling me to make 3 even groups. Well, with algebra, we make groups by dividing. So we divide by 3, divide by 3. So whatever number is in front of your x, that's what number you'll eventually have to divide by. All right? So those 3 go away, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, and I'm left with just x. And then 18 divided by 3 is 6. And that's my solution. And we always do a nice little cloud around it to make it nice and neat for our teacher to be able to correct. And out to the side, we do a check. All right, so wherever I see an x, I'm going to put my 6. And we're hoping that equals 12. I'll write this one a little bit neater. And so 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 6 equals 12. And then 18 minus 6 is 12. So I end up with 12 equals 12. And what that means is my solution works. So we're good. All right, let's have a look at one more. All right, so we got negative 3x this time, so a little bit different. Plus 15 is equal to 30. But the objective remains the same. I want to get my x's by themselves. So on one side, completely by themselves. So the only way to do that is to get rid of this plus 15. But what's the opposite of plus 15? Let's make our 0 pair, right? So the opposite of plus 15 is negative 15, or subtract 15. So we got 3x plus 15. And I always write these moves up top like this. Now, you might have some teachers that don't like that, so whatever works for you is what I always say. It's not about me. It's about you, the student. So if you like writing it up top, you keep doing that. If you like writing it actually in the expression, you can do that as well, or in the equation. So I'll do it like in the equation. I'll just do it in a different color to represent it. So some teachers like you to do this, write it in the same level, which is perfectly fine. Whatever works for you, right? So 30, and then we'll subtract off the 15 in red again. I wish there was an easier way to select the colors of this program, but that's just the way it works right now. Okay, so we are doing that. So I'll go back to blue. So that looks kind of neat. It's not too bad. So what ends up happening, 15 subtract 15, well, that's just 0, so those go away. And then left with negative 3x on the left side. And then 30 subtract 15 is 15. So now we have to make our group. So the only problem is now we got this negative here to deal with. So again, that don't really matter. What we end up doing is dividing by whatever number is in front. So there's negative 3 there. We divide by that negative 3. Okay, so that's a really nice step. I like doing that as opposed to algebra tiles. You'd have to flip them all over. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is just 1, and then the x hangs out. So it's just 1x. Negative 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. And we're gold. All right, so let's do our quick check and we can get out of here. So check. So negative 3, and we sub in that negative 5 in for x, plus 15 equals 30. So negative 3 times negative 5 is 15, plus 15 equals 30. And then 30 equals 30, and we're good. All right, there it is, guys. So thanks everyone for watching this video. Hopefully it helped, and like I said, if it helped you, give me a like or a subscribe. If there's any other videos you guys want me to make, sure, drop a comment. Maybe I can make a few videos for you guys. Thanks a billion for watching, and I will see you guys in class.